Hi everyone, and welcome to ClayShare Live. Jess isn't here, obviously, so you've got me, Kevin, in the control booth, and we've got a special set of broadcasts that we're doing tonight. Paula McCoy, who is our sponsor this month with Colors for Earth, recorded a couple of tutorials for us, and I've got the first one coming up for us here in just a minute. Paula will be on the broadcast in the Facebook channel, and she'll be answering your questions there, so just type them in if you have them. If you're joining us on ClayShare, ClayShare Prime, or YouTube, go ahead and type in your comments. I'll be monitoring them there, and I'll forward them over to Paula so that she can answer your questions for you there. And last thing before we kick it off, just a reminder for everyone that you can save 10% at colorsforearth.com with the code CS602 So without any further ado, let me cue up this video and get us started.
Okay, so this is a little earthenware plate, and I've sketched a pattern on some tissue paper with a pencil, and then I've used the Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liner to trace over that, which allows some of the pattern to come through, enough of it. I can always take my marker, the water-based marker, and go over it. It won't hurt anything, okay? So we're going to do this one really, really loosely, and in order to get some of that softer, what I want to do is I'm going to use the CSP01 NT Clear, which is our clear glaze, and we're just spot glazing it, so to speak, so it's not like it's going to be all over. But I'm going to take the medium Sumi brush, and I'm going to grab some of that glaze, and I want to coat kind of the area that I know I'm going to paint. This will allow it, the bisque will not absorb as much of my color, so it'll give it more of a, what I'm hoping for is a watercolor feel. I haven't done this technique before, so this is all fairly new. I'm going to go ahead and just add. Every time I touch the pattern, though, with any liquid, it starts to go away. Okay, so I have to be careful. Some of it will show through, so I know what I need. Okay, so on kind of the head area, I want some of the golden colors. I have some out here that I used earlier. This is 124 yellow ochre, and I'm going to grab the small Sumi brush, dampen your brush, blot off any moisture, and I'm going to leave a little bit of water in my brush. I'm going to thin down one corner of this, and I'm just going to kind of dab in where I want my head of this guy to be, and I'm going to pull a little bit into there. I'm also going to put some of that glaze in my brush and then pick up some of the yellow, and I'm going to have some that just kind of comes from underneath. These are going to be just some flowers on here. All right, so I can come back and manipulate this because it's got that glaze underneath. Then I'm going to grab some 112 candy apple red. Put some of that out. Won't need a whole lot. I am going to, again, put the CSP01 in my brush, and then I'm going to go into that red and get it on the tip. And I'm just going to kind of very haphazardly, I guess would be a way to say it. Nothing real. It's a real messy look, which is not me, but I'm trying something different. So it's going to be very watercolory type looking. I'm going to pull some of this back into there, and I'm also going to come back with just some water and soften that edge so that it's not real harsh. I want it to kind of fade out. Now you can come back with just some red if I wanted this a little bit darker. Okay, then we're going to do, I almost want to do the flowers first, but I'm not going to. Okay, so I'm going to take some browns to pull in some of this. It could be, gosh, I could do some greens and blues in the tail also, which I may end up doing. So what I've got here on my palette is I've got some 186 burnt sienna. I've got 181 nutmeg, 187 raw umber, and then I have that yellow ochre still. Okay, so let me come just a little bit closer. All right, so I'm going to dampen my brush, just blot the moisture, go into that glaze, the CSP01, okay? And I'm going to start with lighter colors and then work up to the dark. So I'm going to grab some of that yellow ochre and a little bit of the nutmeg, and I'm just going to start over here, and I'm just going to streak in. This is very loose, really, really loose for Paula. This is not what you normally would see me doing. Grab a little bit more of the glaze before I go into some of these darker browns. So 186. Some glaze, 186, a little bit of 187. So what that's going to do is it's going to thin out the product so that it's just makes it thinner to more of a but I do want to try to get some of these, like if you want to make individual feathers, you may have to come from that direction if you're trying to get like more points. And this is just, you're getting just a look of this. It doesn't mean it has to be completely covered. It's just the illusion, I guess would be a way to put it. I'm just kind of grabbing all of those colors. Okay. Now we're going to pull some other ones down on top. And what do I want? We're going to start with the same colors. I can go back and add some of the, like a blue. I'm getting some more of the glaze out here. Again, that's the CSP01 NT Clear. And you can do this technique on your stoneware too. You just don't want to use that CSP01 for the coat over the top. You want to use your high fire clear glaze, and I recommend the Mako SW004 NT Clear, which is this one here. I have found that that works the best with our greens, pinks, purples. It really does a nice job. Okay, so I'm just going to go grab a couple of these, and I'm going to start here but come up like his tail feathers. So just put a little bit of whichever color combination you want. I mean, you can, and because we have that glaze on our brush and underneath there, it sure makes it glide really nicely. So just pick up different combinations of colors. Don't leave a buildup. There was a little bit of a buildup there. So because if you get too thick with your colors, you can have trouble with it popping or cracking. So even though the Sumi brush is not meant for brush strokes, we're kind of like blocking in or more of a watercolor-y type look to it. Can't get a point like I normally would get. I'm trying to decide what I want to do up here on the top. Okay, I think I want to pull a little bit of red into that. So using the same red, I'm going to load with the gloss medium. I am going to tip generously in the red, and then I'm going to go grab the burnt sienna on top of that. And see how that leaves it just kind of translucent there? That's kind of fun, huh? Load with red, tip in the burnt sienna. Generous on the red, burnt sienna on the tip. So I'm doing that every single time. All right, let's put a big one coming up off of the top here. Let's do one here. And naturally that wouldn't. All right, I kind of like him. Something completely different. I'm going to go back and put some medium on my brush and get a little bit of the nutmeg. And I'm going to come from the bottom up. And what that's going to do is just kind of add some shading there. Around those flowers that we're going to put on there. He's just, like I said, he's very watercolor. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, so depending on what I want to do with my flowers there, I also said I might want to bring some green into that tail, but I think I'll leave it with that. We can take the 2200 number 8, the Taklon shader, wet it, blot it, and I can kind of push this back off the flower if I feel like I've got on there a little bit too much. The other thing is we can use the Color Stroke White, CS602. And the Stubby brush. And I want another color. I'm trying to think of what I want to do. I'm going to do white and some red. So I am going to fully load that brush with the white. So shampoo it up. Okay. And then kind of tap it on the side. And then I'm going to grab the red on the tip. And I'm just going to pull in, retip in red, pull in, white, red, and turn the brush over so you can use what's on the other side. It's kind of cute already. So maybe you have just a partial there. And the white is opaque, so that's going to help cover. I want to put some leaves in here also. Okay. And we could have some there. All right, so then let's take 161 green leaf. And 162 Laurel. Don't need much of that. Laurel's a very, very strong color. And I'm going to fully load that 2200 number 8 square shader with the lighter green, the 161, riding the brush towards me, corner load in the Laurel, which I did too much, so I'm going to go back and re-corner. And I can just come in here and pull some little leaves doing what is considered a wedge stroke, but you could honestly do it with the stubby that we just had if you wanted. I mean, I'm just adding some green. Whoops. So I'm just making the illusion that there's some leaves on there. He's kind of cute. Let's take some of that yellow and add some dots in the center. And we can do that with the dotting tool, or we can just use the handle of a brush. It's really, so this happens to be the number size 2 dotting tool. And I'm just going to add some dots in the centers. This one is kind of to the side, so there's not much there. I'm also going to add a little bit of green on there. Okay. We need his eye. do that with the yellow. That's the 124 yellow ochre. We also need to take the liner and pull in his beak with that also. A couple of coats on there. I'm going to just add some of that yellow that I didn't put just for the background of his neck. Okay. We'll let that dry a little bit. Then we can come in with just some black, kind of hit and miss. I do need to let this dry though before I do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the liner brush, the 3600, number 2, and I'm going to pull some red accents. On his tail, make him a little sassy. All right. Then I'm going to get some black, CC101. We're going to thin that down with water. First thing I want to do is I want to kind of semi outline that eye. And I'm just going to kind of a hit and miss, not really being particular. Okay, and then just very loose Okay, so it's just really loose. All right, so then we need to do the same thing down here. Well, actually, I'm going to go this direction because it'll be easier to kind of hit and miss. Keep that thin down. And then on the more of the tail, you can do that same. It doesn't have to be super strong. It's almost like a pen and ink kind of a. I am going to come in here with some stronger black to accent those. And we can have a little bit of that in there. You can even come in and put a white highlight. Let's see, this is our opaque white. And he's pretty cute. All right, I'm gonna sign it. No, I like him. All right, love to see what you do with it. You can change the colors up and do all kinds of things.
All right, everyone. Oh, I can hear myself in my headset. I got to get rid of that. All right, everyone. Thanks, Paula, for that fantastic piece that all of our chicken people are going to love. Jess is going to go bonkers when she sees that one. She is going to absolutely love it. And let me get a couple of things queued up over here because we have a giveaway to do from Paula. So you guys get to see me do all of my production work at the same time I'm trying to be the on-air. It's funny. So tonight we've got a giveaway for Color Concentrate Kit number 2 and the number 2 liner brush. And get that name ready. And the winner of that is Eileen York. Is that going? Why is that? Now we're there. That's bonkers. I don't know why that does that. Anyway, as I was saying, the winner for the Colors for Earth giveaway tonight, the Color Concentrate Kit number 2 and number 2 liner brush, is Eileen York. And thanks everyone for tuning in. This will be up for replay shortly after the show, and I'll actually be back at 6:15 because we've got another great tutorial from Paula that she has prepped for us. So thanks everyone, and we will see you then.